Some people are born with the gift of enjoying reading. They can spend tireless nights finishing a book or studying without breaking a sweat. But for most of us mortals, we were not granted this ability. Sitting down and reading for just 10 minutes can feel like a torture. We go through a page 1, 2, 3 times without comprehending what we've just read. After every other sentence, we feel the unstoppable urge to check our phones. And the possibility of completing a book seems like a fantasy. But I have good news. It doesn't have to be this way. Hello y'all, this is Juan Cruz from Inerize. Welcome to the second class of the reading course. In this video you'll learn 10 tips to enjoy reading and finally have fun while doing it. Without further ado, let's dive in. Tip number 1. Pick the right books. It's common sense to begin with the books that we enjoy, but many of us don't do it. We choose books that friends and family recommended or that our favorite YouTubers mentioned, but few take the time to think what is it that we want to learn or explore. So put yourself first. Forget the recommendations that you've heard from other people and explore your own interests. Is it manga, science fiction, politics, economics? Or is it philosophy, sports, marketing, dog training, or cooking? Once you've found out what you want to read, do a quick Google or Amazon search and figure out the best of them. You'll surely find tons of ranked lists and bestsellers to get started with the right foot. Tip number 2. Set a goal and write it down. Did you know that a 2015 study by a psychologist called Gail Matthews showed that when people wrote down their goals, they were 33% more successful in achieving them than those that just had them in their heads? If you want to enjoy reading, whether it's for pleasure or for your studies, it's always good to set goals and write them down. They will provide a boost of motivation and help us stay committed. But don't write anything yet. Wait for tip number 3. Start stupidly small. Building the habit of reading and learning to enjoy it is hard by itself, so why make things harder by setting lofty goals that are destined to destroy our motivation and momentum? Attempting to read a book a week or an hour every day can be difficult if you're just starting. These goals require quite a lot of commitment, discipline, and a brain that's used to low level of stimuli. Not saying that you shouldn't do it. Give it a try if you feel up to the task, just that it's not the optimal way to begin. What I recommend instead is to start stupidly small, literally. Just like the challenge in the first video of the reading course, if you haven't watched it, click here. Setting a goal of 1 page a day is a great strategy because first, it's super easy to do, even if you're tired or had a bad day. And second, it helps you build momentum that you can leverage to increase your reading time in the near future. So now yes, you can grab a pen and paper and write down your reading goal. Remember, start stupidly small, so stupid that it's harder for you to miss than to do it. In this way, reading and study will not feel like an obligation but a relaxing and short hobby. Tip 4. Build a reading list. Remember when you had to explore your interests and search for the best books in tip number 1? In tip number 4, we'll go one step further and build a complete reading list. Look for other books in your genre or broaden your horizons and explore other interests that you might have. Find at least 10 of them and write it down. Having books you're looking forward to reading will motivate you to finish the ones that you're currently working on and make you excited about this whole endeavor. Trust me, it works. There are 6 more tips to go and I hope that you're finding them useful. If you do, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Also, comment which is your reading goal, I love to hear it. Awesome, let's keep going. Tip number 5. Find your why. This tip is all about discovering why you want to read and study. What is the reason that's motivating you to even watch this video in the first place? Is it because you want to have a good time? Because you've watched someone you admire on social media recommending it? Because you need to pass an exam? Or because you want to be more successful or more educated? Get very clear on why you want to do this and perhaps even write it down. Knowing your reasons will help you push through difficult times or days when you just don't want to read. Remind yourself of your why and use it as a motivational fuel to keep going. Tip number 6. Create a reading ritual. The dictionary defines ritual as a religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. If we throw away the obvious spiritual connotations of the word, we end up with a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. All of us engage in these type of rituals. When we wake up, most of us do a series of actions in the same order each and every day. We take a pee, some of us shower, brush our teeth, dress, have breakfast, and so on. Rituals are powerful because they prepare us for what's to come. So why don't we build a ritual that helps us with our task at hand? Let's name it the reading ritual. You can of course build your own, but here are a few suggestions. Before sitting down, make sure that you're dressed comfortably. Check your reading goal. Remind yourself of your why. Set your phone to airplane mode. Set a timer for a specific time and get going. Be creative, see what works for you and build your own personal reading ritual. Tip number 7. Join a book club or start one with a friend. We are social creatures by nature. We tend to copy whatever other people are doing just to fit in our social group and avoid breaking the rules. Book clubs take advantage of this feature of our psychology and help us stay consistent with the habit of reading, and therefore enjoy it more. Not to feel behind or out of tune for not finishing a book, we'll do whatever we can to accomplish our homework. If you cannot find a club that catches your attention, try finding a friend that is into reading too and build a small one. Being accountable to someone other than yourself will help you be constant. Furthermore, discussing what you're reading with your friend is super fun and consolidates your learning. Tip number 8. Read in the morning. As I mentioned in this video, willpower and discipline work just like a battery. They get depleted during the day and recharge at night. That's why if you want your reading time to be enjoyable and without succumbing to distractions, aim to do it in the morning. In this way, your willpower levels will be at their highest, and usually in the first hours of the day, there are fewer distractions. Tip number 9. Adopt the right mindset. Some of you might be lucky enough to naturally enjoy reading and studying, and I want to tell you I'm super jealous. For the unfortunate ones, I recommend a mindset, a new way of looking at this whole endeavor. If you're expecting to enjoy every minute of your reading time, you're probably wrong. This belief will crash after a few days or weeks. What I propose instead is to see reading just like going to the gym. It's hard to dress up, take the bus or grab the car and go to the gym. But once you get there and start lifting weights, all of a sudden the struggle disappears. You are already there and there's no way out. Furthermore, doing exercise, although it's tiring, it feels good. The same happens with reading. You might resist sitting down. For the first 5 minutes, your mind might be all over the place. It's not fun. But once you get going and build momentum, it becomes enjoyable. You get in the flow and the number of pages read naturally goes up. So set the right expectations and begin with the right mindset. You'll not regret it. And lastly, tip number 10. Take it easy. The last tip I want to share with you is to take it easy and be kind to yourself. Reading with consistency day in and day out can prove difficult. Life is uncertain, problems arise, and bad days are going to happen. You might miss a day, a week, or even a month. If you do, don't be harsh with yourself. I've been there, and not just with this habit, but with everyone I try to implement. The important thing is that you eventually come back. Books are an amazing hobby as well as a powerful platform for self-development and education. If you follow the steps and develop the habit, you'll eventually learn to enjoy it and will be able to sit down for hours lost in the pages in front of you. And once you do, treasure it because there's nothing like it. Thank you very much for sticking till the end. I leave the 2 videos I recommended in the description and in the comments. And if you haven't checked the first video of this reading course, make sure to do so now. There's a free gift waiting for you. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment what you thought of these tips. Again, thank you very much for watching and see you soon.